The storm raged outside, lightning streaking across the sky as the wealthy guests gathered inside the lavish mansion. Glass chandeliers glittered above polished marble floors, and laughter filled the air. Among the guests was Eleanor, a woman known for her elegance, wealth, and pride. She held her daughter, Clara, close, a sweet young girl with soft brown curls and eyes that saw nothing. Clara had been blind since birth. To Eleanor, the world revolved around appearances. She wanted Clara shielded from pity, protected from judgment, and raised as though nothing was missing in her life. That meant perfection in everything, from the tutors she hired to the servants she employed. And no one dared question her decisions. No one, except the janitor. His name was David. Quiet, humble, with worn shoes and hands scarred from years of hard labor, he worked at the estate to keep food on the table for his own little family. To the rich, he was invisible, just another uniform sweeping away dust. But he noticed things no one else did. It happened during one of Eleanor's dinner parties. David was polishing the brass sconces in the hallway when Clara wandered close by, her cane tapping softly against the floor. Guests moved aside politely but whispered behind their wine glasses. Poor thing, she'll never see the beauty around her. Clara's lips trembled as she heard their words. She clutched her cane tighter. David, watching from the side, felt a pang in his chest. He pulled a small flashlight from his pocket. It was old, dim, but reliable. Kneeling gently, he clicked it on and let the glow warm Clara's hands. "Do you feel that?" he asked softly. Clara tilted her head, startled, then nodded. "It's warm." "That's light," David whispered. "You can't see it, but you can feel it. Light is more than sight. It's comfort, it's safety. It's always around you, even when you can't see it." Clara's lips curved into a smile, her little fingers dancing in the glow as though she could almost hold it. For the first time that evening, her face lit up with joy. But then Eleanor appeared. She froze at the sight. The janitor crouched before her daughter, holding a flashlight. To her, it looked like mockery, a cruel trick to remind Clara of what she would never have. Gasps rippled through the guests as Eleanor's voice rang like a whip. "How dare you?" she snapped. "You think this is funny? To shine light at a blind child? You're mocking her." David stood quickly, his words caught in his throat. "No, ma'am, I wasn't. You're fired." Eleanor's words cut him off, echoing in the stunned silence. "Leave this house immediately." Clara reached out, panicked. "No, Mama, please. He wasn't mocking me, But Eleanor's pride was unshakable. She turned her daughter away and ordered the guards to escort David out. That night, David walked home in the pouring rain, clutching his thin jacket to his chest. His family depended on that job, but he couldn't fight back against someone like Eleanor. She had power, he had none. Clara cried herself to sleep, her small hands reaching for the warmth of the flashlight she no longer held. But the truth has a way of finding light. Days passed. Eleanor noticed Clara's silence. No laughter, no smiles, no excitement in her voice. She refused to eat, refused to talk, until finally, Eleanor knelt beside her bed and whispered, "Clara, tell me what's wrong." Clara turned her blind eyes toward her mother. "Mama, he wasn't mocking me. He was the first person who didn't pity me. He showed me that even though I can't see light, I can still feel it. He made me believe I wasn't broken." The words pierced Eleanor's heart. For years, she had fought to make Clara appear normal, when all her daughter had ever needed was to feel accepted. Eleanor's pride had blinded her more than Clara's eyes ever did. She realized she had made a terrible mistake. Eleanor set out to find David. She went to the workers' quarters, to the small streets where the poor lived, until finally she found him fixing a broken chair outside his tiny home. His children played barefoot nearby, laughing despite their worn clothes. David looked up, surprised, wary. Eleanor stepped forward, her pride swallowed. "Mr. David, I owe you an apology." He said nothing, waiting. "I thought you were mocking my daughter," she admitted, her voice trembling. "But I was wrong. She told me what you showed her. You gave her something I never could hope. And for that, I am grateful." David lowered his gaze, humility in his posture. "I only wanted her to know that blindness doesn't mean darkness. There's always light, sometimes you just feel it differently." Tears filled Eleanor's eyes. For the first time, she saw not a janitor, but a man of wisdom. A father, a human being with dignity. "Please," she whispered, "come back. Not as a janitor, but as Clara's teacher." From that day forward, David returned to the mansion, not to scrub floors, but to guide Clara. He taught her how to navigate spaces with sound and touch, how to use her other senses to embrace the world. He brought music into her life, showing her how to feel vibrations through the piano keys. He introduced her to storytelling, painting vivid pictures with words she could see in her imagination. And Eleanor, she watched her daughter blossom with pride and realized that the man she had once cast aside was now the very reason Clara thrived. Months later, at another grand gathering, Clara stood confidently before the same guests who once whispered about her. With David by her side, she spoke in a clear, strong voice. "I may not see with my eyes, but I see with my heart." And sometimes, that's the truest vision of all. The ballroom erupted in applause, but Eleanor's tears fell quietly. She had finally learned the lesson her daughter already knew: respect and love are not measured by status, but by compassion.